This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. What you just heard there was me having a stab at the solo from the Rory Gallagher song Bad Penny. It's a song which occurred on his 1979 album Top Priority. And for those of us who had the album back on vinyl in those days, like me, you probably still think of that as track 1, side 2. Anyway, I was into Rory in a big way then. I was just starting to get into the whole kind of blues rock sort of thing, and that live album that was the follow-up album to Top Priority, Stage Struck, I still think is a fantastic live album. Anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at what's going on in this lovely little solo from Rory.
Solo explanation.
Okay, as always, we will begin by looking at the chord sequence. It goes D to F to C, and back to D again, like this. 4 times through that, and then we come out of the solo onto a C major chord where the vocals re-enter. So, theory-wise, what's going on with that chord sequence? Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Basically, it's blues. You've got D major, which you can say is coming from a D major tonality, and F major and C major, which you can say are coming from a D minor tonality. And it's that kind of blurring the lines, that ambiguity between major and minor that we see a lot of in blues. You know, I mean, you're playing over a D chord or a blues in D, you'll use quite often D minor pentatonic to give it that kind of bluesy snarl. That's kind of what we've got going on here, because over the top of that chord sequence we're using D minor pentatonic, beginning down here in the 4th position. A little bit in the 1st position, and finishing up in the 2nd position. Like that. So the licks that we're playing go like this. We start with that lick there. A nice catchy, kind of memorable motif or hook, you might want to call that. So he uses it again. If you play something that is, memorable, then do it again. Plan it in advance and reuse it. So what he does next with that is he basically does that. That's all in position 4 of the D minor pentatonic, and you can see we're adding in an E note here as well. Forgot to mention that. We'll be doing it again up here in a moment. So after he's played that, lick there, he does a little fill in position 1, like that, just that little kind of bend on the 3rd string, and then those 2 notes there, 10th fret on the first 2 strings, and then concludes that by shooting up to this D note here. And then we play this part of the 1st lick again, but an octave higher. Very effective technique. Just play whatever lick you played, if it's memorable, or to make it memorable, just move it up an octave, and it just, kind of sounds like there's a continuity going on. Anyway, after that, we get into a little bit of a bendy fest up here on this 15th fret note, this G note, bending it up to an A on the top E string. And then that's kind of bringing us to the end of the solo, because after we get that there. So you can see again we're getting that E note in there. And then the solo concludes with, and that little kind of bluesy, almost on the last note of the solo, the last but one note, that little blues curl. Listen how much more bluesy that makes that sound. If I just go, it works, but that makes it blues. And that's what we're doing there. Again, it's blurring that sort of that boundary between major and minor. That is an F note. That is the note that would kind of define us as being in D minor. It's the minor third of D minor. And that is an F sharp note, which is the major third of D major. That would kind of define us as being in D major. And basically just bending that F note, that minor third, up towards the major third. You're not actually reaching this note, you're just bending towards it like that. And there you go, that is the solo. A nice little walk through a few of the pentatonic patterns, using that kind of bluesy minor over major, kind of blurring the boundary between the two tonalities, and taking a strong melodic motif and making the most of it. This part, and then up here, like that. Very effective technique, and it's a good one to include in your solos. Anyway, now you know what's going on. Go away and have some fun with it. And as always, you'll find a full tab for the solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it and that explanation you've just seen there, and a backing track to play along with as well. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional resources that go along with these YouTube lessons. A massive heartfelt thank you to everyone, each and every one of you who support me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are linked down below. Thank you so much, chaps. It is massively appreciated. And that is pretty much the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it, found it entertaining, useful, informative, and perhaps a little bit inspiring in some small way. If that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. You know what happens there. We drink beer and we talk about music and guitars. What, I ask you, is not to like about that? It's a fantastic way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.